nonprofit in Madison County is serving unhoused and low-income Kentuckians in their community. The group hosted a fundraising event tonight to prepare for the needs of the upcoming winter season. WKYT's Alyssa Williams taking us inside to hear more about their work.
Saturday night marked a time to gather for the unhoused community and a time to honor those who help it at the first Madison Homecoming Gala in Richmond.
This is something that we have never done before. It's a vision that just came to one of our volunteers, and we just hit the ball running with it.
Melissa Sloan is the outgoing executive director of Madison Home Incorporated. She says every person at the gala is doing their part to help the unhoused community.
They are either community partners, or they are sponsors, or they are volunteers, or they participate in the services that we provide.
Beyond that, Saturday's event helps fund the organization's winter shelter program, a concept that gave them their start 4 years ago.
We have homeless shelters here in Richmond. They're called church buildings. These church buildings weren't really used during the nights, and they were still heated and safe and somewhat comfortable. So we decided 4 years ago we will start a program, a ministry, to get the homeless off of the streets.
Sloan says in the last 4 years, they've been able to make a real difference.
Last year during our winter shelter program, we housed on an average about 30 folks a night. By the end of our 3-month winter shelter program, it means that we housed over 112 different individuals.
More than anything, they want to give a sense of home to those who need it most.
We're going to raise awareness of the homelessness issue here in Richmond because, as you say, many see them, they don't really know what to do about it. Well, they can come to this gala, and this is a part of the solution.
In Richmond, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
Those with Madison Home Incorporated say along with providing a physical space for people to stay, they also provided some mental health and spiritual resources to help get those people back on their feet.